guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Lipsy and we're on day 11 of Spooktober. Imagine if we did this for Christmas. What would I do for Christmas? How awesome would that be? So today we're doing something that actually isn't a castle, which is a surprise in Wales since everywhere it seems to be a castle. But it is a very known haunted location with hundreds of psychic mediums going there to investigate, paranormal teams and so on. It's currently a hotel and it does weddings, it's just a B&B if you want to go there, it hosts a lot of parties, and it's in Cardiff. It's the Miskin Manor. Let's dive in, guys. So it's dating back to the 10th century and it's thought that the name harks back to kind of Mine Keen or Lovely Plain. So it was years until it was actually a manor house. It was actually built as a different house to start, and it was the Bassett family that lived there initially. In 1857 the estate was then sold. This was to a Mr. David Williams. In 1864 that's when the Miskin Manor was built on the site. Now it was in the design of David Vaughan, but obviously it's been altered since then, like through history it's been changed and upgraded and stuff like that. Judge Gwilym Williams actually inherited this from his family and he lived there for a while with his wife. Now it's actually said that his wife is a descendant of Nest who we spoke about at Cairo Castle. In 1923 it was destroyed in a massive fire and it tore most of the building down, and then a couple of generations Williams later it was changed into a Red Cross hospital. Lady Williams was actually a commandant of Red Cross and continued to occupy part of the building. So she actually lived in this as her home address, which was evidenced in sending a letter to the Times in 1943. Now it was used as a hospital from 1948 onwards, and this caused a lot of stress. Sir Williams did not like the fact that it was used as a hospital because they owed him money and basically they hadn't paid to keep the place running. He was paying for it as his own home, but he didn't get to use it as his home because it was occupied by the hospital. In 1955 Sir Williams actually died and Lady Williams continued to occupy the home. So unfortunately in 1952 there was another house fire which destroyed basically what was left. But then it was built up and transformed into post-war flats. Now let's skip a little bit more because it doesn't matter who lived there in between. But in 1996 it was sold to Leah and Colin Rosenberg and they still live here to this day. It had originally been bought and converted from the flats in 1985. So there's been a lot of famous residents that have gone there, including Eleanor Glynn, who was the It Girl. Now she was actually the mother of Lady William. The Prince of Wales has stayed there, but wasn't new there because, I mean, every place that we do, it turns out that he stayed there at some point in his life. And Charlie Chaplin has stayed there too. So the important part. Why is this haunted and by who? So it's haunted by a lady ghost. Usually is, isn't it? She has her own little routine which I find quite creepy. Like, what kind of time is she running on? Do dead people run on the same time as us? I suppose that's a question. It's like a genuine question, isn't it? She turns up at the same time daily, and basically where she turns up there used to be a staircase. They took this staircase out when they renovated the house, and in its place now is a bar. So where she goes happens to be a bar, and she'll walk back and forth along the bar, which is almost like she's walking up and down the stairs like she would when her house is actually there. This happens every day between 12 and 1 AM. She turns up at the bar like clockwork, she glides back and forth for a few minutes, and then she just disappears. And this is supposed to maybe be Lady Williams. Obviously we can't say for sure, but the people who live there think that it is her because she had her routines when she was alive. It seems very in character for her to do that. Now in 2004 a famous psychic medium came to actually view the place. Her name is Nori Mile. She's actually the editor of Supernatural magazine. So when she stayed there the night, she actually said that she definitely felt a presence. Unfortunately though, they did not catch anything. They didn't see anything that happened. They didn't experience any differences with EMF meters, anything like that. It just went on gut, the fact that she could actually feel something there. Now the next morning when she was explaining all this to Colin Rosenberg, the owner, she actually started to talk about how she didn't really believe that there was a woman who came to the bar. She didn't believe the fact that there was a routine that this girl followed and stuff like that. And Colin Rosenberg he was just listening and agreeing. Maybe, you know, maybe he agreed with her. And then to prove her wrong, a massive heavy photo got flung off the wall and crashed into the floor. Now there's no way that this photo would have just fallen off itself. It was pushed or lifted and pushed off the wall, off the ledge. It's not just her that's said to haunt the house. There's also a rumour that a young girl is haunting the games room. This is called the Oak Room. And one day, a few years ago, a man was playing snooker there. And he was taking his time and taking his go, you know, just looking around the table to see which part would be the best place for him to go. And when he stopped and looked, he said all he saw was the red ball starting to move and hit another ball. Almost like something was saying, take your turn. And to me, that seems like a very childlike thing to do. Like, I can imagine little kids, you know, when I was little, I would have done it. I would have just been like, I've had enough watching you do it. Bang. So I think that's evidence, really, that there is a little girl there. There's also an apparition of a male being seen in the games room too. I don't know, I get the vibe, and this is literally me going off my gut instinct, that this is the father of the little girl that hangs out there. Obviously I can't say that for definite because that's me just spouting my own information. That's the vibe that I get, but it's worth saying, I suppose. And then there's the military room. So this is rumoured to have a soldier casting his protective eye over things. When Supernatural magazine went there, they said that when they walked into the room there was flickering lights, and they asked the flickering lights to stop, and as soon as they did, they happened to just stop. When she was in there, she said she got this very strict kind of male military presence. Now this place doesn't actually give me a bad vibe when I talk about it. A lot of places that I have spoken about have given me a bad vibe and I've not enjoyed talking about them. This place seems like a nice, homely, comforting place. And if you're in the area, drop by Miskin Manor, the link's below. Thank you guys for watching. If you've enjoyed, as always, leave a comment, tell me what you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so I can alert you every time I upload. And remember guys, never let anyone dull your sparkle.
It's not for me to say.